Lorena Ochoa.
Lorena Ochoa.
Lorena Ochoa, a name that, for many golf enthusiasts, is synonymous with dominance, grace, and an unrelenting drive for success. Imagine this, a young woman from Guadalajara, Mexico, who soared to the pinnacle of women's golf, winning an astonishing 27 LPGA Tour titles and 2 major championships. Her performances weren't just victories, they were statements, proving time and again that she was the best female golfer in the world. And then, at the height of her power, when she was seemingly unstoppable, she did something no one saw coming. She walked away. This wasn't a gradual decline or a graceful exit after years of dwindling performances. No, Lorena Ochoa retired at the peak of her career, leaving fans and fellow players bewildered. How could someone so dominant, so committed, simply step away from the sport she ruled? What could possibly have driven her to make such a shocking decision? To understand why Lorena Ochoa quit golf when she had everything going for her, we first need to trace her incredible journey. A journey that saw her rise from a young hopeful in Mexico to becoming the undisputed queen of the LPGA Tour. Lorena Ochoa was introduced to golf at a tender age. Born in 1981, she picked up a club for the first time when she was just 5 years old, inspired by her parents and their passion for the game. But even at that age, there was something different about her. While most kids were content with casual play, Lorena showed a remarkable talent that couldn't be ignored. By age 6, she was already winning state championships, and by the time she turned 8, she had her first national title under her belt. It was clear to everyone around her that Lorena wasn't just a good golfer, she was destined for greatness. As a teenager, her reputation only grew stronger. She went on to win 44 national junior events in Mexico, an unheard of achievement that put her firmly on the radar of the global golf community. At 17, she received a scholarship to attend the University of Arizona, where she dominated the collegiate circuit, winning the NCAA Player of the Year award twice. Her extraordinary performances earned her comparisons to golf legends like Annika Sorenstam and even Tiger Woods, and she was quickly recognized as the next big thing in women's golf. When Lorena turned professional in 2002, it didn't take long for her to prove she belonged at the top. Just a year after joining the LPGA Tour, she was named Rookie of the Year, making her the first Mexican golfer to receive that honor. But that was just the beginning. In 2007, she truly hit her stride, claiming her first major championship at the Women's British Open, becoming not only the first Mexican, but also the first Latin American to win a major in women's golf history. Her dominance continued with a victory at the 2008 Kraft Nabisco Championship, solidifying her status as the world's top-ranked female golfer. By that time, Lorena Ochoa wasn't just winning tournaments, she was rewriting the record books. For 3 consecutive years, from 2006 to 2008, she was named the LPGA Player of the Year, a feat achieved by only a handful of golfers. She led the money list, won the Vare Trophy for the lowest scoring average multiple times, and was recognized worldwide as an unstoppable force in women's golf. So when she announced her retirement in 2010, still ranked as the world's #1 female golfer, everyone was left in shock. The question that lingered was, why would someone so dominant, so brilliant, leave everything behind? In April 2010, Lorena Ochoa stunned the golfing world with an announcement that no one expected. She was stepping away from professional golf. It wasn't a rumor or speculation. It was a direct statement from the champion herself, delivered at a press conference in Mexico City. Her voice was steady, but there was a sense of finality in her words as she explained that her time on the LPGA Tour had come to an end. For the golfing community, this was more than just a surprise. It was a bombshell. Lorena was only 28 years old, in the prime of her career, and had held the #1 spot in the world rankings for a staggering 158 consecutive weeks, a feat that no one else at that time had even come close to achieving. She had everything: fame, fortune, and the adoration of fans worldwide. So why would she walk away? Lorena revealed that the demands and pressures of professional golf had taken a toll on her. The constant travel, rigorous training, and unyielding expectations to perform at the highest level had left her exhausted. More than that, she yearned for a simpler life, one where she could spend time with her family, pursue personal interests, and live beyond the confines of golf courses and media obligations. It wasn't an easy decision, but for Lorena, it was the right one. The shock of her retirement was compounded by the fact that she wasn't just taking a break. She was saying goodbye to competitive golf for good. There was no "I'll be back in a year" or "I'll play part-time." It was a clean, decisive exit from a sport that had defined her entire life. Even her fellow players, including Annika Sorenstam, who had herself retired retired a couple of years earlier, expressed disbelief. How could someone at the very top, someone who was still capable of achieving so much more, decide to leave? As Lorena's announcement rippled through the world of sports, fans and analysts began to speculate about what might have driven her to make such a life-altering decision. Was it the relentless pressure of staying on top? Or was there something deeper, something more personal that made her realize that there was more to life than just golf? These questions hung in the air, leaving everyone eager to uncover the true reasons behind Lorena Ochoa's stunning retirement. You see, professional golf is often glamorized as a life of luxury, fame, and fortune. But behind the scenes, the reality is far more demanding than most people realize. For Lorena Ochoa, the relentless pursuit of excellence meant long hours on the course, intense training sessions, and constant travel to tournaments around the world. While the victories and trophies piled up, so did the physical and mental exhaustion that came with competing at the highest level. Lorena's schedule was grueling. From one tournament to the next, she was constantly on the move, with little time to rest or recuperate. There were times when she would compete in different continents within weeks, battling jet lag, adjusting to new climates, and handling the immense pressure to perform. Each week, the stakes were high, and the expectations placed on her shoulders grew heavier with every win. Even the slightest dip in performance was scrutinized, and the demands to remain at the top intensified. Being the world's #1 female golfer wasn't just about skill, it required an unwavering commitment to excellence. The pressure to maintain her position meant that she couldn't afford a single off day. It wasn't enough to be great, she had to be perfect, week in and week out. This kind of pressure takes a toll on even the strongest of athletes, and Lorena was no exception. The endless cycle of practice, travel, and competition began to feel suffocating, and the joy she once found in playing started to diminish. The intensity didn't end with the tournaments. Lorena had a reputation to uphold, sponsorship obligations to fulfill, and media appearances to make. She was the face of women's golf, and with that came an endless stream of commitments and responsibilities that left her with little time for herself. It was as if her life had been consumed by the game, and gradually, the idea of finding balance became an unattainable dream. The sport that she had once loved so passionately was beginning to feel more like a burden than a blessing, and it was clear that something had to change. As the pressures of professional golf intensified, Lorena began to realize that there were more important things in life than trophies and accolades. Family had always been a cornerstone of her values, and as she approached the peak of her career, the yearning to spend more time with her loved ones grew stronger. For years, she had sacrificed countless moments with family and friends in pursuit of her golf dreams, missing out on birthdays, holidays, and countless other special occasions. In 2009, Lorena married Andres Conesa, a successful businessman and CEO of Aeromexico, and suddenly, the demands of being a wife added another layer to her already busy life. While she was out on the tour, competing in far-off countries, there was a growing longing to be at home, to enjoy the simple pleasures of life with her husband, and to start a family of her own. It became increasingly clear to Lorena that her priorities were shifting, and the dream of building a life outside of golf became more appealing than the idea of winning another tournament. Her decision wasn't just about wanting to be present in her own life. It was about having the freedom to make choices that weren't dictated by a golf schedule. She wanted to wake up without checking the leaderboard, to spend a Sunday afternoon with family instead of battling it out on the green. For Lorena, the opportunity to step away from the game meant gaining something far more valuable: the chance to experience the joys of everyday life, the chance to build a future that wasn't defined by the next tournament. This wasn't an easy choice, but it was one that Lorena felt was necessary. She had achieved everything she set out to do in golf, and now it was time to turn her attention to the aspects of life that had been put on hold for so long. By stepping away, she wasn't just leaving behind the pressure of the sport, she was embracing the freedom to be fully present in the lives of those she loved. Stepping away from professional golf didn't mean that Lorena Ochoa was leaving behind her passion for the sport. In fact, her retirement allowed her to reconnect with the aspects of golf that she truly loved: teaching, mentoring, and using her platform to make a positive impact. Almost immediately after announcing her retirement, Lorena threw herself into charitable work, focusing on her foundation, the Lorena Ochoa Foundation, which she had established years earlier. The foundation's mission is to support education and sports programs for underprivileged children in Mexico, giving them opportunities to pursue their dreams just as Lorena did. Through her foundation, Lorena has been able to channel her passion for helping others, creating a legacy that goes far beyond her her accomplishments on the golf course. This work has not only allowed her to give back to her community, but also to find a new sense of purpose and fulfillment that golf alone could never provide. In addition to her charitable endeavors, Lorena explored other avenues that had long been put on hold due to her demanding golf career. She took on roles as a golf analyst, commentator, and even dabbled in business ventures. However, what stood out the most was her dedication to promoting the sport of golf among young people in Mexico. She organized golf clinics, worked with aspiring golfers, and became an ambassador for the game, ensuring that her love for golf would continue to inspire the next generation. One of the most telling aspects of Lorena's retirement journey was how she embraced this new chapter of her life with the same passion and drive that she brought to the golf course. She wasn't content with just fading into obscurity. Instead, she used her platform to continue making a difference, proving that her identity wasn't solely tied to her golfing career. By walking away, she discovered that there was so much more she could offer the world beyond her swing. Ultimately, Lorena Ochoa's decision to retire was about more than just leaving professional golf. It was a chance to rediscover herself, to pursue passions that had been waiting in the wings, and to embrace a life that allowed her to be more than just a golfer. And in doing so, she became a true role model, not just for her skills on the course, but for her courage to walk away when everyone expected her to stay. When Lorena Ochoa announced her retirement in 2010, the golfing world was stunned. Fans, fellow golfers, and commentators couldn't believe that the most dominant woman in golf was stepping away at the height of her career. The news spread like wildfire, and it wasn't long before everyone was asking the same question. Why would someone leave when they were at the top of their game? Many of Ochoa's competitors expressed their admiration for her decision, even if they were shocked by it. Annika Sorenstam, another golf legend who had also retired at the peak of her career, praised Ochoa for her courage, acknowledging how difficult it is to walk away from the sport when you're still winning. Others in the golfing community couldn't help but feel that the LPGA Tour was losing not just a great player, but also a role model who had inspired countless young girls to pick up a golf club. The media, of course, had a field day with the news. They speculated endlessly about whether Ochoa would eventually return to the game or if there was more to her decision than what she had shared publicly. Despite the constant probing, Lorena remained steadfast in her decision, reiterating that she was ready to step into a new chapter of her life. She didn't waver, and that in itself only added to her legacy. But what is Lorena Ochoa doing now? Although Lorena Ochoa was quite clear about her reasons for retiring, that hasn't stopped the rumor mill from churning out countless theories and speculations over the years. One of the most common theories is that Lorena felt burned out by the constant grind of professional golf. Some believe that the immense pressure to maintain her #1 ranking took a toll on her mental health, and retirement was her way of preserving her well-being. This theory suggests that, despite her outward confidence, the strain of constantly being in the spotlight may have become too much for her. Another rumor that circulated was the idea that Ochoa might have been facing a hidden injury that influenced her decision. While she never reported any serious physical issues during her career, some speculate that perhaps she wanted to leave before her body gave out, preserving her legacy as one of the most dominant golfers to ever play the game. There were also whispers that Ochoa might have been offered lucrative business opportunities that required her to step away from the sport. As a widely recognized and respected figure, it's not hard to imagine that she would have been presented with numerous ventures that could have made retirement an enticing option. However, these theories remain nothing more than speculation, as Lorena has always maintained that her reasons were purely personal. Despite all the controversy and speculation, one thing is certain: Lorena Ochoa left the game on her own terms. She chose family over fame, passion over pressure, and happiness over expectations. And that perhaps is what makes her story truly remarkable. So, what do you think? Did she make the right decision by retiring when she did, or do you believe there's more to the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more fascinating stories from the world of sports. Thanks for watching.